totally honest. I have been a face yoga and facial exercise skeptic since the first time I ever even heard about these methods. Even as a student of anatomy, as someone who understands in depth the musculature of the face, it still seemed ridiculous to me for some reason. I think it's because people were promising facelift-like results, which never seemed believable, so I never bothered trying any of those things. Also, I was younger then, but as I've gotten older and things on my face have started migrating south, I've started reconsidering and becoming more open-minded to things I was once opposed to. And while I'm not interested in surgery anytime soon, personal choice, I am very interested in non-surgical methods for facial rejuvenation. So maybe you're in the same boat and maybe you're looking for non-surgical ways to freshen up your face. If so, you should definitely give us a follow and a subscribe. I'm Kelsey Ale. I'm a certified functional nutritionist. I'm a restorative wellness practitioner, and I'm the founder of Audre. We're a collective that helps women in their 30s and 40s learn how to age well and love doing it. We talk about supplements, nutrition, fitness, mindset, and of course, skincare. So if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and subscribe to our channel and remember to hit the bell to be notified when we post a new video. Face exercises have supposedly been around for millennia. Some people even say that Cleopatra was a fan. Fumiko Takatsu is credited as the creator of the official face yoga method. She is said to have developed the technique after a car crash left her face looking asymmetrical, and she wanted to do something about it. She went on to develop about 70 different exercises and poses to help tone the face, and I think it restored her facial symmetry beautifully. Then Gary Sikorsky came on the scene and branched off and created the happy face yoga method with his 32 facial exercises that may or may not be derived from Fumiko's methods. I haven't looked at them personally. Cleopatra started it, but Gary is actually the one that became involved in the 2018 study that eventually kind of proved that face yoga can possibly work. At least the study showed that facial exercises can lift, firm, and fill the cheeks when done according to the study protocol. So the study started with 27 women aged 40 to 65 years old who had photo damage, mild to moderate facial atrophy, meaning their muscles were shrinking on their face, and who all had an interest in facial exercises. And these women were recruited to study Gary's facial exercise methodology and then to do it. So they attended 2 90-minute muscle-resistant facial exercise training sessions with Gary himself, and then they were sent off with the instructions to perform the exercises for 30 minutes every day for 8 weeks. They were then instructed to back down to 30-minute sessions every other day for 12 more weeks for a total of 20 weeks of facial exercises. So essentially, they went through facial exercise boot camp. Maybe not surprisingly, before the study was over, a good chunk of the group dropped out. I get it. That's 30 minutes a day, every single day, doing facial exercises is a lot of time. We don't know why they dropped out, but I get it. But some persevered, and the study ended up with 16 of the women completing all 20 weeks of facial exercises, and their results were really promising for specific areas of the face. According to the results, these exercises measurably increased both upper cheek and lower cheek fullness, which was determined by doctors using the Merz-Carruthers facial aging photo scales, which is a set of 5 points that aesthetic doctors use to assess aging of the face. The study participants were rated as looking an average of almost 3 years younger after completing the full 20-week program, which I think is great for a non-surgical, non-product-based treatment that's essentially free. And this all sounds super promising. So let's real quick burst the bubble and look at some of the ways that this study doesn't quite hold up. First, Gary himself was a co-author of the study, so obviously as the creator of the method being tested, the guy who has the programs to sell, it's in his best interest for the study to yield positive results. So that's a built-in bias right there for the routine to work. Next, the study size was smaller than most LA dinner parties, which isn't giving an accurate reflection of how this method actually performs for the general population. One source I looked at recommended a study size of 500 to 1,000 participants if we're trying to effectively investigate a correlational relationship or the degree of relationship between two variables, in this case, facial aging and facial exercises. So the study is biased and it's really, really small, but that doesn't mean that face yoga can't work for you and me. So I started my own face yoga journey doing 2-ish minutes of exercises 2 times daily. And it's a mix-up of some exercises I found by Danielle Collins, who is a face yoga expert. She has a YouTube channel, and some other suggestions from various sources. Full disclosure, I am not the study participant who is going to stick with a 30-minute-a-day routine. I definitely would have been one of those people who dropped out. But here are my before and after / now pictures, because I'm still doing this, where you can see the effect that facial exercises have had on my lower face up until this point. So at the time of filming this, I've only been doing this routine for about 5 weeks, so there's still a lot of room for improvement if we're looking at the timing of the study for reference as to when to expect results, which they did start seeing results around 8 weeks, but remember they saw the best results after 20 weeks. I may shoot a follow-up video if I do continue doing these exercises regularly, which sometimes they do feel tedious and I kind of just want to skip them, especially at night. And this is only 4 exercises that I'm doing, which is like nothing. So refer to my previous comment about being a bad candidate for a study, but I did this to test the theory, so we'll see how far I can take it. My primary concern has been cheek laxity in the jowl area and a little bit of neck sagging, all of which are in the earlier stages for me, so I'm looking for both helpful and preventative measures. So I focused on exercises that addressed these areas, which keep in mind were not areas that showed improvement in the study. I perform 4 exercises for 20 reps each, and I fit the exercises in between the steps of my skincare routine because you should be giving your skincare products some time to absorb anyways, so I squeeze in the reps between the skincare steps. So here are the exercises I've been doing. I start by tilting my head back and pushing my tongue up against the roof of my mouth. And when you do that, you can feel the bottom of your chin and your throat contract. So I do that 20 times, 20 tongue press reps. Then I add resistance, and this is a move from Danielle Collins. You tilt your head back again, and then you lightly rest your hand on your throat while you're doing 20 more tongue presses on the roof of your mouth. And this just gives a little bit of resistance to those muscles. Next, we're gonna turn our head to the side and tilt back slightly. I stick out my tongue out of the corner of my mouth closest to my shoulder, like I'm trying to touch my ear with my tongue. And this is a variation of a Danielle Collins exercise. So I do 20 reps. I stick my tongue out 20 times on each side. And finally, we activate the platysma, which is a fun muscle. It's a thin sheath that runs from your collarbones up to your jawbone. And you tense it when you're saying, ugh, or eek, like something unfortunate just happened. So I tilt my head back and I wrap my lips over my teeth and I press out on my cheeks lightly with both fingers to try to stabilize my face, just so I don't reinforce any smile lines or anything that I don't want more of on my face. And then I isolate the movement into the platysma by making that eek kind of expression and tensing that muscle for 20 reps. Fun fact, the platysma is the same muscle on the back of a cat that makes their hair stand up when they're scared. Also, you don't have to go all out on this. You can actually strain these muscles, so gentle but assertive movements that are activating the muscle should be plenty. So 20 reps of that, and then you're done for the morning. Then I do the whole thing over again at night before I go to bed in between my nighttime skincare routine steps. Again, here are my before and after shots. I do think that this routine is helping, but it's definitely not gonna give me the same results as a facelift. Still, if you're looking for non-surgical beauty routines to rejuvenate and tighten the face, these exercises could be worth looking into. Keep in mind there are apps, YouTube videos, and whole programs designed around these exercises. So what I just showed you today is such a small sampling of what's even possible. It's just what I've been doing. It's also important to keep in mind the limitations of something like facial exercises and facial yoga. While the teachers will promise you radical results, be prepared to be content, but maybe not mind blown. No exercise, no matter how much it works the muscles, can affect the underlying structure that the face rests on, which is what really starts sagging as we get older. One co-author of the study is even quoted as saying, "Put simply, there's a good chance that facial exercises can be helpful in improving mid-face volume loss in some patients, but this doesn't mean that they can replace a neck lift, or a facelift, or fillers and neuromodulators, or laser resurfacing. Facial exercises may be used in combination with dermatologic procedures to possibly augment the overall result." Also, if you have loose skin or excess fat that you're trying to get rid of, these exercises do not address those specific concerns. Toning the facial muscles will lift the skin and tighten the area somewhat, but it's not going to look the same as a surgical procedure would. You also have to be really consistent with these exercises to see results because, again, they're subtle. So if you're going to really try it, commit to a routine that you can stick with for at least 8 weeks to see if it makes a difference in the ways you're looking for. So keep all of that in mind, manage your expectations, and go forth and facercise, which is an actual program, but do whatever exercises you want. Don't forget to check out the description below for more of our resources, including our daily habits calendar, where you can join us on the journey to build the right habits for better aging. We also have our Better Aging Basics course that you can look into. And then there's our Real Age quiz to help you assess how effective your current lifestyle habits are and to see how they may be impacting your skin and your overall health. If you found this information helpful and want to learn more about supporting your overall health and your aging process and how to build the right habits to age as well as you possibly can, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell to be notified when we post new videos. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please go ahead and give us a like on this video. It helps us out so much. So give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. Next up, you can watch our 9 foods for glowing skin video. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, hydrate and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.